WW7ATS.
Did you put a quarter in the dispenser? Yeah, this is KD7ZYM. Good evening, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts who take to the airwaves with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater that spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. So with that, I'll take a pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact with somebody on the 08 machine before our net is fully functional this evening. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, pausing. Being none, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine, and I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So far checked into the net this evening is Ron, KD7QKU, Bert, M7CS, Richard, K7ITX, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else who would like to join in?
M7QO and
I got M7QO. Is there anyone else?
WU7N.
WU7N, James. So welcome both Jim and James to the net. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I see Lee, M7KC, is joining the ranks this evening. Anybody else care to check in? Being none, let's go to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7ZYM in the group, KD7QKU. How do I sound?
Very acceptable.
Okay. I moved my antenna around 2 or 3 times. I wasn't sure I had the right clock. Well, the Huskies just actually scored a touchdown. So it's now 9-24 or something. Michigan leading. So let's see. It was a beautiful day today. We didn't do too much. I watched a couple of football games, and then we decided to go find Winco. So we drove over and found Winco, a grocery store, as you probably know. And then we came back from that. We stopped by Habitat for Humanity. They have a junk store, I guess you'd call it, where they sell things. We stopped by there. It was close by. Didn't have anything that we, well, there was a painting, a picture. Joanne kind of liked the picture, the big picture. They wanted $100 for it. I wasn't sure I liked it for $100. But I think James got rid of some that were prettier here a while back. I don't know if we needed another big picture. We could have got one of those. And then, let's see, we went by a discount grocery store. I don't know if it's called Cash and Carry or Discount Groceries. Anyway, we stopped by there. And they are cheap, no doubt about it. Joanne bought a couple of things, put in the freezer. But that was about our afternoon. We didn't get started on that till 2 o'clock or 2:30. So anyway, back to that K7QKU.
KD7QKU1. Thanks for that. Your audio got a little raspy there towards the end, but still could copy. Let's go to Lee at Port Angeles, N7AC. Okay, N7KC. Am I in? Oh, okay, very good. Okay. Lee, N7KC. Richard, you look like your car must be the racetrack. That's all I can figure. And Roller Boot and Ron and Dave, and I think I heard Covington Jim in there, and I don't think I heard Gary yet. So anyway, I don't have anything to add at the moment, so I'll send it back to you, Dave, and 7KC. Back to you.
Connected N7KC.
N7KC, wait, thanks for that. Let's go to Bert, N7CS.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Sorry I was a little late getting it, so I'm just getting set up. I think I just got my grand screen transmitting the Zoom image. So if let's see, I think if someone can switch the input on the repeater to show grand stream, then okay, there we go. Okay, I'll just delay that. Thanks. That's probably, I'll come back and talk more later. I'm just kind of getting everything finally hooked up. So it looks like it's good now, but I'll talk more later. This is Bird Miracle, N7CS, back to Matt.
N7CS, and let's go to Richard, K7IGX, in his super secret location this evening. Okay, well, I hope I'm getting in. I get the thumbs up from okay, good. And Bert, my apologies for spinning this ground screen Zoom thing on you last minute like this. Generally, I don't know why. I could have thought of it. Well, you know the drill. Do you know what we're doing from 1 minute to the next? I don't. So anyway, let's see. So yes, I'm on in my third racing event in a weekend in a row. No, I'm not at the track right now, however. This is at Shelton, and I have the family with me, and so we are with our travel trailer at Mason Lake. Ron's been there before, and but it just, I couldn't resist. I heard about this sports car, Lucky Dog, 6-hour endurance race today. When I heard about that going on, I was like, gosh, what a better way to kill several birds with one stone and see a racing event, and yet, have the family all happy about going camping. And it worked like a charm. What can I say? KD7VIN, K7ATS, back to net control. K7ATS, Richard, thanks for that. Let's go on to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, everyone. My goodness, Dave, you said Dick's coming from a secret location. I thought, maybe Dick, you're in the doghouse again. And then it's like, okay, well, so did Pippa displace Mika, and Mika has to sleep outside or something? I don't know. I remember watching the Flintstones, and somehow Dino always got to sleep inside, but they put the cat out for the night. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, third weekend racing in a row, that's pretty cool, and especially having the family with you. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, Ron, I was watching a little bit of the game. I hate to say it, but rest in peace for the Huskies for this game, I think. Oh well, say la vie. Next time might be a little better. Let's see. I guess that's it for now. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
In 7QO, let's go on to James, WW7ATS.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm glad, I guess Bert must have reset, because for a while I just had solid black screen. So if anything wants me to change to RF, let me know. And a question I had for Ron, you're shopping for paintings now, but what happened to the piano? We never heard a tune come out of you about whatever occurred with the piano, so I'm kind of curious to know whatever happened. And, well, Richard, sounds pretty exciting there. I can see you in the car, but you're either moving very slowly, or it's very dark outside, I don't know which. But it looks like you're texting and driving there. But, so anyway, you might want to be careful there, especially for a race. But I don't know, these self-driving cars these days are pretty amazing. Well, okay, video interest to everyone, at least this aspect of it. I just stumbled into something, it's a very, very low-budget Netflix called Into the Night. And from a video aspect, you guys might be interested in this, because so far I think there have been 3 sets. An airport, bedroom, and everything else so far has taken place inside of an airplane. And you talk about low budget. It looks like very good drama. It is in French, but there's always subtitles if you don't understand French. Or it's fun to read the subtitles and then say, yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, I knew that. I didn't really need those subtitles. So anyway, that's Into the Night. I just saw the first part of the first episode, so I don't know if it's going anywhere or not, but it's certainly a production worth watching if you're into the video, into how video production is done. So anyway, that's it for me this round. James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. It is dark outside, 8:11. My goodness, it's getting dark fast. So let me turn it back to Dave on net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave.
WW7N, James, thanks for that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. 66 degrees out, and old sunshine went down at 7:26 tonight. Well, for me, it was a little stuff around the house, watering the rhododendrons, doing a little domestic chores, and actually got out for about a 1.5 mile walk in the neighborhood. So anyway, got the muscles working again today, and saying congratulations to the Cougars in their game. They seem to score pretty well today. So anyway, we got one team in the state universities that are doing pretty good. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So we're going to move up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Thank you, Dave. KD7QKU here in Tacoma. I think it was Jim asked about the piano. The piano is still in the house. Whoever buys the piano to the house gets the piano. I wasn't going to pay $500 to have the piano taken out and then take it to the dump. I just left it in the house. So anyway, haven't heard anything about it. What else is going on? Oh man, I don't know. We had this palm tree in the front yard next to the house, and we had it tore out. But apparently the roots are trying to come up and starting to sprout again. So I sprayed Roundup on it. I'm wondering if it'll kill it. So I'll find out in a couple of days if the sprouts died out. But anyway, that's about all I did today that was worthwhile. Except we went over to Winco. Well, we drove over there and the parking lot was so full of cars we didn't go in, but at least now we know where it's at. But, yeah. That was pretty busy here today when we were out driving around. just kind of staying off of it. It's running still a little bit slower tonight. But anyways, that's about it here. After that, KD7 continues.
KD7 continue. Looks for the lead in 17 feet. Okay, time is on, and all that stuff is 7KC in Port Angeles. Well, Ron, I was saying, I forgot the last time, to suggest that anytime your wife wants a painting for $100, probably a good idea to buy it. I would. Anyway, we had some rain today, a tenth of an inch, a very, very welcome rain. We didn't get under, the tree roots extend beyond the canopy around here a long way, so I'm sure the tree was dead funny. But underneath the cars, there's nothing. It just didn't do it. So we're hoping we'll get some more maybe tonight and tomorrow. I don't know. I watched the ladies, the U.S. Open ladies, women's tournament today. And I kind of been watching that little gal from Canada. Anyway, it was very entertaining and very rewarding for the winner. $2.5 million for the winner, $1.25 or $1 million and a quarter for the runner-up. So not a bad payday at all. And gosh, I don't know, I haven't got anything done at all to speak of. We did have to go out and buy a new clothes dryer yesterday. And while we were at it, we just went ahead and got a washer too, because the equipment that's in this place was here when we moved in, and it's been used for a long, long time, and the dryer had multiple issues. It just wasn't worth fixing. So it wasn't safe. It was seriously overheating for no apparent reason, and blowing that fusible thing on there, and it had other problems too. So we got a pair of them on a Labor Day sale at Sears, and that's it. They'll be delivered next week, and we'll be done with that. So, kind of late today. I'm out of time, and 7KC, Lee, and Port Angeles, back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
W7GG disconnected.
M7, yes, Bert, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Let me turn my light on here. A couple things. So, my wife and I, we were walking around earlier today, and we decided to hop in to go look at one of the houses that were being built near us. We just like to check those out from time to time and see how they're putting everything together. And one thing I noticed that I wasn't expecting was that they put a sprinkler system in the house. So, I mean, in all the floors of the house, there was wired for, I guess, water sprinklers. So I didn't know that was something that they're doing these days. I don't know if that's just the building code up here, or if that was an option that those homeowners were opting to get for their house. But I thought that was just surprising. But oh yeah, James, you mentioned Into the Night. Yeah, I think I remember about a year ago watching season 1 of that, and it was a pretty interesting show. And I just noticed earlier today that season 2 came out, so that's probably what I'm going to spend my tomorrow doing is watching Into the Night season 2. But if what you said about there not being very many sets in that show, there's another show on Amazon. It was a movie on Amazon that came out. I think it's called 7500, which you might recognize that squawk code. But that movie had, as far as I remember, just one set. It was just the cockpit of an airplane. There was nothing else in the entire set. But okay, so that's probably it for now. This is Bert in Marysville in 7CS. Back to Ned.
N7CS. Let's go to Richard, K7ITS. Yeah, so the interesting thing about this event today, it's called Lucky Dogs, and I actually met the owner, and I guess the owner of the series. He travels the country, Carolina, Atlanta, they advertise, or they give all these participants, there's actually 74 cars, a little traffic jam at times, and but the whole thing is you don't have to have any kind of license, no certifications of the drivers or anything like that. So there is a technical inspection of the cars, but not of the drivers. And a prepared driver to a car in the 6-hour event today. I always stayed for the first couple hours and quickly lost interest. However, it was pretty exciting to watch all those cars start at the same time. And it's pretty amazing how that a slow group of cars could just really slow down the entire field during the event. So, and then as far as Mika is concerned, this is a little upset because we're not in our usual camping spot. In fact, Mika actually went to our usual camping spot and surprised the people there, and they just loved her to death. And then she got very mad at Debbie when it was time to go home. So I don't know. So it's pretty weird that, well, it's weird in general with a cat on a leash. One person yelled out, "Honey, quick, get the camera!" With that, WW7ATS, back to net control. WW7ATS, Richard. Let's go away, W7ITL in Tacoma.
This is W7ITL. Welcome, everybody, and Dave, thanks for doing the net. So today's been a pretty eventful day. I spent about 2 hours walking and running, getting prepared for tomorrow's run that I'm going to be doing in Snohomish. It's a Spartan. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that is, but I'm going to be doing one of those. It's a 5K obstacle course run, and so I'm getting prepared for that, and we'll see what else did I do today. Just kind of hung around the house and just did some odd end kind of things. So let me turn the net back to Dave, and this is W7ITL. Back to that.
W7ITL, wait, thanks for that. Let's go on to Jim, M7QO.
M7QO, thank you, Dave, and good evening, Wade. Well, let's see. Jim, yeah, sometimes I've discovered it's kind of fun to make up your own subtitles on things that you're watching. Occasionally my wife and I, when we're in a peculiar mood, will mute the volume and play different parts. It's a little bit strange, but anyway. Let's see, Ron, I think that's a good idea, leaving the piano behind. Just leave it, and it could be interpreted as a gift for the new people. Maybe they would be looking forward to getting a piano, or they could try to sell it. I think that's a good option. Oh, as for stump removal, do a search on YouTube, and I will bet you'll find several different videos on how to get rid of a stump. And you may be surprised, something may be kind of easy. I just been surprised and favorably impressed at the value of some things I've run into on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, Dick. No license or certification necessary? My goodness. Reset. I remember in a previous race you mentioned some rookie driver sort of had a mishap with one of your cars there, and it caused some problems. It really sounds cool going to all these different races, but I don't know about that one. But it could be entertaining. Well, let's see. Mika, unhappy. My goodness. I used to have a cat, and I don't know, he was kind of finicky. You pour him a bowl of milk, and if it's the proper brand, he would drink it up. But if it's not the brand that he likes, he'd look at the milk, and he'd look at you, and he'd look at the milk, and he'd look at you, and sometimes just walk away. So, okay, guys, you don't want it. Yeah, pets can be funny. That's great. It's interesting that he meandered over to the old campsite. Pets. Okay. Back to you, Dave, 10-7 kilo.
10-7 kilo on ID time again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, 87GYM. Let's go to James, WU7ATS.
Thank you, Dave. Ron, I don't know if you know this or not, but Roundup is a confirmed mutagenic, and so the problem with using it on a plant is you don't get it the first time. The plant usually comes back and says, remember me? Maybe this is some footage of, a failed Roundup attempt. So, I don't know, you might want to, really give that some thought. The other thing, let's see, the sprinkler. So I can tell you about that first. Okay, so if your house is too far away from where the fire department would have to hook up in King County, then you have to use sprinklers. You have to have them installed, last I heard, on new construction. And I'm sure there's plenty of cabins and tents and doghouses and everything else scattered all over the county that don't have sprinklers that if they were built today they would probably require.
Got together with a bunch of the other people from the media after hours when we were looking for a watering hole. And so we were driving around at Freda, and we found this huge parking lot full of cars, so we knew we found a joint in town. And so we parked our cars, and as we got out, we found out it was a used car lot, so that was a bummer. So we did find a watering hole. I think there was only 2 cars and 1 horse. That was about it at the watering hole in the Freda. But we had a passive time. And that's pretty much it. And for Ron, they say that copper spikes inside trees, if you pound them inside, has an effect of having them dwindle a little bit in value. So with that, I'll move it back up to Ron, 87QKU.
Thank you, Dave. 87QKU here. That's just some leftover roots. They're small, but they just started to sprout. And Lee, who won the tennis match? I think one of the girls was from Canada and one of them was from America. And I don't know which one was which, but I don't know who won either. And James, you were talking about that scene from the movie with Hitler. So Chuck Zappa, you probably never met him. He was an ATV guy, and he liked to make videos and stuff. They worked at Boeing. And they came out with this new program they made everybody go to for about a month. And then they had to figure out the personalities of all the other employees. And they had, I remember they had little colored blocks. And so you would put a colored block on your desk to tell what personality you were. So when someone came and talked to you, they would know how to deal with you. And Chuck said it was the stupidest thing that they ever did in their life. So they went to the meeting, and they were in this meeting, and it was, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th session, and he played that video of Hitler, and he subtitled the name of the guy that was putting on this meeting. I saw the video. How Chuck ever came from didn't get fired, I'll never know, because when they turned the video on in the middle of this meeting, there was 100 people there, and his bosses and everybody else, and it was just silence in the room. And he subtitled all the people that were in putting this program on. It was just unbelievable. I'm telling you. You could have heard a pin in this room, and it just went on and on and on. And finally, it was over. And then after it was over, everybody in the room just roared and laughed. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know how Chuck kept from being fired. I mean, I know he was going to quit anyway at that time, but it was unbelievable what he did. So anyway, Lee, who won the tennis match? KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, and for an answer to Ron's question, let's go to Lee in 7KC and put into it. Little QRM on you, but go ahead. Well, I've been sitting here listening to you guys on 08 just fine. I thought that if I had full power, I could get in, but apparently not too good. Well, okay, the tennis match was won by the Canadian. It was a wonderful match. It was the two, well, one of them turned 19, but it was the two essentially 18-year-olds, the teenagers, and it was just a marvelous final. Very, very nice. And both of them went home with a lot of money in their pockets, all that sort of thing. While somebody was talking, I looked up what Squawk 7500 was. Yes, and I can see why one doesn't want to make that mistake. Yes, that does call out a lot of help when you land. And I think, frankly, house sprinklers are a great idea. I'm surprised they're not code. You know, it's at the time of construction, it's not that big a deal to put that piping in. And it's not even expensive piping. It's just generally, I think, cast iron or iron pipe, black iron pipe. And even if you didn't charge it except when the truck got there from the outside of the house, and basically the truck goes up on, it's like a standpipe on a building and just charges that thing and knocks that fire down. But it would be, I would think, I would like to have that myself. I think that would be a powerful thing to have in your house. I don't know, inspecting. You don't want to do a full broadcast. That wouldn't be good. Anyway, with that, I don't have anything else at the moment in 7KC. Back to you, Dave.
W7GG disconnected.
7KC, thanks for that. Let's go to Bert in 7CS.
Okay, let's see, just getting me set up here. Okay, well, let's see, Lee, you mentioned, like iron pipe for that sprinkler system. What I was seeing was clear, transparent, plastic, flexible tubing going to all the stuff. So I got a picture of it. Maybe I'll try to show that if we get another round on me later. But let's see, I noticed the latency on the YouTube stream is pretty bad tonight. I'm not quite sure. I refreshed it and it's coming up a little bit, but earlier I was seeing like 2 or 3 minutes latency. It was really bad. But and then Wade, tell us a little bit more about the run you're going to be doing tomorrow. I tried doing a lookup of what the Spartan was, and because I thought, well, maybe I'll go try it out too. And then I looked at the pictures and I said, no way. So I'm curious to hear, have you done this before, and what's your experience with it? And you said you're doing the 5K or the 5 mile? Okay, anyway, that's it for now. This is Bert Menschel, N7CS, back to net.
N7CS, let's go on to Richard, K7ITX. This manipulates around that track for map 77. Okay, well, yes, I'll have to jump around to this comment about Ray's big event coming up. I think maybe when I was his age, I probably eventually got 3, maybe 4 half marathons under my belt, probably 2 or 3 dozen 10Ks, and then Cascade Runoff in Portland, I did 4 or 5 of those. Those are 15K. So I used to really love doing that stuff. It got to be a real habit. And hopefully it'll add to my longevity as the future holds me. And let's see, and because of some of these movies, I should have known better when I started watching the Stephen King movies that seemed so innocent. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it started out, the biggest, something about the biggest storm in history or something like that. But it starts out, typical, scene on the East Coast with the nor'wester starting to boil up. But I should have known Stephen King, eventually the devil is going to show up and start murdering people. Well, worse than that, I don't know, he's absent or they disappear. Oh, I remember, they used people to commit suicide in front of everybody. And he really was the devil. I mean, there's no mistake about it. He made that very clear. So, maybe if you had religious or believe in Satan, by the time you finish, and these movies usually last about 8 or 9 hours. So, I mean, they're pretty convincing by the time and you're glad it's over when it's over. So just be careful. And then, and so instead of getting into the Huskies today, I spent the Mets and the Yankees. What a great game that. I don't know how it turned out, but it was pretty exciting, and of course, being on the anniversary, it was a very special game for them in New York today. With that, KB701 K7ITS, back to net control.
K7ITX. Thanks for that. And for an ID, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Line Dave, KD7CYM. So let's move on to Wade, W7ITL.
This is W7ITL, Wade here at Tacoma, and let me see, I'll answer a couple questions. So first, yes, so it is 5K, which is like 3 miles or so. And it's like going through mud, going under like obstacles in the water, climbing ropes, picking up 100-pound boulders, picking up big buckets of rocks and moving them around. It's fun. Depending on what you think fun is. I mean, it is a lot of work. I've done it before about 2 years ago, and my friend that does these often, he convinced me to go again, and he is doing all 3. I think there's a 5, an 8, and a 13K that he's doing. He's doing a 13K today. And let's see, somebody was talking about colors and putting them on your desk. I think there is a program called Real Colors. Quite a few big corps do it, and it's like a personality test, and I went through that as well. And I think my colors are green and gold or something. So whatever that means. I don't think I ever even paid attention after I took the test. It was just kind of a dumb test. But some people are really into it. So with that said, I'll turn it back to Matt, W7ITL.
W7ITL, Wade, thanks for that. From Tacoma. Let's go to Jen, N7QO.
And 7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Wade, I don't remember who it was. I think it may have been Ron saying about the colors. I think the fellow who he mentioned was doing it because his work wanted him to do that, and apparently a few people were not particularly happy about that. Yeah, I've worked for some companies that, for reasons which are not clear, came up with bizarre things to do. I don't know. You just have to humor the boss every now and then. If he's controlling your paycheck, you kind of have to do what the boss wants. That's kind of the way I look at it. But let's see. Wade, my goodness. I used to do stuff like that in my younger days. There were 3 of us who felt pretty sure that we were going to get drafted. And during high school, we built in the woods behind a park. We built a confidence course, an obstacle course that we could run through. And we used to see how adventurous we could make things. But that was a few decades ago. So, I don't know, be careful, Wade. Don't hurt yourself. Have fun, but don't hurt yourself there. Let's see, sprinklers. Yeah, what can I say about sprinklers? Okay, where I live is unincorporated King County, and I'm going to say it was approximately 5 years ago. I better reset. Yeah, maybe 5 years ago. I had a neighbor who was going to do a sort of expansion project on his house, and for some reason now right now the neighborhood, at least as far as I know, my house, the surrounding houses, have only a single water line running to the house and a single water meter. Well, what they wanted is for him to have 3 different water lines running to the property, and he was going to have to pay for 2 different water meters. They wanted him to have one line for the house for just general use inside the house with a meter, and they wanted him to have a separate line with a meter for an outside sprinkler system, anything he has to do in the yard. And if the weather got too miserable or something, then supposedly they could cut it off. And then a third line for a fire suppression sprinkler. And he finally decided, well, the heck with this, I'll just keep what I've got. But the concept of a sprinkler system sounds pretty interesting. I know it's prevented a lot of damage and saved a lot of lives. I don't know what the code is nowadays, but my house was built maybe like 30 years ago or so I don't have it. I don't know what they'd make you do. Maybe that's the code now. Is that Snohomish County, you said? I don't know. Interesting to check and see. But anyway, just food for thought. That's the limit of my experience on that. KD7ZYM and 7QO.
Yeah, 7QO. Let's go to James. WU7S.
Someone was mentioning about copper spikes in trees. Actually, it works best if you use solid gold spikes, Ron, and just let me know when you do that. And you'll find that the entire stump and all the gold spikes you pounded into it are just missing the next day. It's amazing how it works, really works well. Let's see, okay, Wade, you probably know this. But, the original,
the papers had water inside of it. So it might be something like that with this plastic pipe. If it's filled with water, maybe it would melt. As far as inspection goes, I'm sure it would have to be inspected. My son, when he built his house, it was the amount of testing and he had to even test the vent system on his plumbing. Can you imagine that? The venting of the plumbing had to be tested. And his house had to have a pressure test or a vacuum test, I don't remember which. They caulked it all and then they did a pressure test. It was crazy with the county out there.
Bill, the chairman of the geophysics group at the University of Washington, where I was working doing seismic, the radio telemetered seismic installation, hired me and another guy to alternate weekends and go down there he got the contract to monitor the seismic background for the whole WIP project. So we would go down there, and every other weekend, Paul and I would pile in the truck and with the critters and whatnot, and head down there and camp, and then hit the multiple stations that we had with smoke drum recorders, battery powered, that sort of thing. And it was cheaper, so it was handsomely paid, and it was just like going on vacation. It was wonderful. Anyway, I don't have anything else. This is a 7KC input and effect either. M7KC, Lee, thanks for that. Let's go to Bert, M7CS.
Okay, let's see. Let me try to, let me start the stopwatch, see if I can share my screen. Okay, and I will try to go get that picture. Where's my, that I had on my phone. Sorry, it's just taking me a little bit of time here. Okay, and computer, of course, is running slow. How do I make this bigger? But yeah, so this is like what I saw. I assume this is a sprinkler system. Maybe someone can tell me if I'm wrong on that, but there's like, it looks like flexible plastic tubing. You can see through it. Some kind of red protector over whatever that is. I don't know if that's just because they're still doing work there, but there was like 4 of these in this one room here. So I mean, I can't think of what else it would be other than a sprinkler system. Maybe, and I wouldn't think they'd be pumping gas in there. That'd be probably too difficult to do for something like a house. But yeah, I don't know what else it could be. But if anyone has any bright ideas, and of course I can't figure out how to, of what else it could be here. Just trying to zoom in into the different stuff. But anyway, this is Bert in Marysville, M7CS, back to Ned.
M7CS, let's go to Richard, K7ITX. Alright, well, let's see, will not be going camping, I will not be going to a racing event next weekend, but without looking at the calendar, I do know we have a big event at Pacific Raceway, Camp Auburn area, the last weekend of September, and so whether or not I set up my trailer at the track, I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it and hoping for good weather. So let's see. It seemed like I had one other thing to comment on, but kind of went through one side of my brain to the other, and now I don't remember. So I got that problem now and then. Okay, well, it's been a lot of fun, and good luck, Wade. And like everyone says, be careful. You don't want to get hurt, that's for sure. So, 73, everyone have a good night. KD7ZYM, K7ITX. Back to net control. K7ITX, let's go to Wade. W7ITL.
W7ITL. Yes, don't know if I have any additional comments tonight. Thanks for all the encouragement and safety comments. I will definitely be taking it easy, not going too hard, because yeah, I don't probably run enough to be able to run it quick. So I'm gonna take it easy and just get through it. This will be my number 2 time doing it, like I said before. And I was gonna show some pictures. Maybe I'll have them loaded by the time we do an afternet, but I'm going to show some pictures from the last time I did it. With that said, we'll wish everybody 73. This is W7ITL, back to that.
W7ITL, let's go to Jen, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Yeah, Bert, I don't have a good idea on what those pipes are. Kind of looks like a sprinkler to me as well. I have not seen something like that. And Jim, talking about Elma, yeah, I've seen those. There used to be a restaurant on the airport in Hoquiam, and I would go there, but they don't have a restaurant there at the airport anymore, so c'est la vie. But yeah, towers are nice to look at there. Anyway, I guess that's it for the night. So I'll say good night to everyone. Hope to catch you on Wednesday. M7QO.
M7QO, let's go to James, WU7N for a 1-minute wrap.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Richard, yes, the movie title you think of as Needful Things. Max von Sydow plays the best devil ever. And that was a very good movie. Very well done. Excellent script writing. All comes together at the end. If you haven't seen Needful Things, you should watch that. Anyway, this is James, WU7N, for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Great net tonight. Thank you, everybody. You make my evening. Let me turn it back to Dave for the final sign-off.
WU7N, James, thanks for that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. Dave, KD7ZYM. We'd like to take this time to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine that we utilize for our voice transmissions held on Saturdays and Wednesdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off at 9 p.m. Good evening all.